Okay, here's a bottom line, a simple truth for those of you that are parents, and in particular for those of you that are not super parents. Now, I think that anybody can get something out of this, but this is
Well, I'm a
intended.
super parent.
It's not for you.
Oh, okay.
It's for me.
Okay.
It's for me. You're here to be an example to the rest of us.
Okay, good.
So I think anybody could get something out of this, but this is intended for parents like me. Here's the bottom line. The number one thing that you can do for your kids is to help them make their faith the number one thing in their lives. I don't know about you, but I oftentimes feel a lot of pressure about all the things that I've got to do as a dad. Moms feel the same way?
Oh, yes. We feel a ton of pressure. Probably the most pressure.
the most
pressure.
Of all the kinds of parents, moms
Yes,
feel the most.
moms feel the most.
Like, we're in this COVID deal right now. So I'm out walking in the neighborhood a lot, going from sidewalk to sidewalk to avoid people. And you see a dad over there and he's throwing the baseball with his kid and you're like, man, I need to spend more time throwing the baseball with my kid. And then here comes a kid zooming by on the bike with no training wheels on. And you're like, man, I got to get the training wheels off my kid's bike. And then, there's like a dad in the, driveway. Every time I walk by this guy, he's swinging kettlebells with a tank top on. And I'm like, maybe I should get kettlebells and a tank top. And Amy's like, you should get kettlebells, but you don't need a tank top.
Because you already have a tank top.
I do have a tank top.
You have a tank top.
But I only wear it for you. So, yeah, there you go. And when we're in Florida, when we're in Panama City Beach.
Yeah, it only comes out on the beach.
I wear it there too.
That's right.
So there's just so much that we are expected to do as parents. So that's why I love this bottom line. The number one thing that we can do is help our kids make their faith the number one thing in their lives. For me, it takes a lot of pressure off because it reminds me that it's like the big rock, that if we get this right, then we don't have to worry as much about all of the other stuff. Jesus says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added to you. It doesn't mean that the GPA and the socialization and the sports, it doesn't mean those things aren't important. They are. But if you get the first thing and you keep that as the first thing, then the other stuff, it's going to be okay. Like we talk about the 13th grade. The 13th grade is 13th grade.
Yes. Yeah.
It was 13th grade.
It comes after graduation.
Yeah, 13th grade, like that first year after high school, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think about the first Friday night that our kids will have in the 13th grade that will likely, this is scary, go into their first Saturday morning in the 13th grade. And what town they're in will be influenced by their GPA, and how much we're paying for them to be in that town. That will be influenced by their GPA. But the decisions that they make that night will be impacted more by their faith than by their GPA. Like when they're on the business trip, like the stories that they tell at the bar, like at the hotel bar, how far they made it in state will give them stories to tell. But what they do after they leave the hotel bar and how long they stay at the bar and all those things, that's going to be influenced by their faith more than anything else. And we got 3 kids, what home they pick out for us.
That's right. That's a big decision.
Yeah. We want them to know that a commandment is to honor your mother and your father.
Exactly.
That's pretty important. Look,
Right.
there are a million things that we want to do for our kids. But the number one thing that we can do is help them make their faith the number one thing in their lives. And if we get that right, then we can trust that that the other stuff is going to work out. So that's just a little bottom line for us, and we hope that it's a blessing to you. You want to say anything else?
I don't think so. I think you took all the words out of my mouth.
Let's see, she writes it all, and then
I'm the brains. He's the communicator.
I'm the brawn. I'm probably not the brawn, but I'm the voice at least. Okay. All right. God bless y'all.
Bye.